Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for game number 2 here between Immortals and Blue Pikachu, who are up 1-0 in the series, the semifinals of the NA qualifiers for StarLadder. And this is single elimination, so no second chances. Immortals actually on the verge of being knocked out by Blue Pikachu here after that last game. Very interesting one. I didn't quite know how it happened in the end, but Blue Pikachu able to win team fights, able to just get pickoffs one by one, and just ends up winning the game after that, even though Immortals kind of had control of the map for most of it. But new game, new luck, a new draft perhaps. Yeah, IO Tiny banned out again. Blue Pikachu alongside the Chen. But this time around they get themselves a gyrocopter, taking it away from Ryora.
And I do like this last game they banned Wisp in the second phase. Now they banned it in the first phase, and I think it's because they just know that Immortals, like their go-to hero, kind of like in some games are like, okay, we're on the line here, we go Wisp. Like they really like this hero, so I think that might have been what Immortals wanted. So I think that's a really nice ban from Blue Pikachu.
Yeah. Let's say whatever you can do, we can do better. Steal the ancient apparition away, so why the hell not?
And have a mirror raft in different, like the opposite teams.
Yeah. There's no Sanking this time, so
True.
who do you want to come up with? Maybe something like a Tusk. That's the hero that Models have run previously.
5 seconds remaining.
Tusk is nice. Puck is a really nice hero against Gyro in lane because you can always dodge the rocket, and you just have a nice. It's nice with A later. If you want to pick up a core right now, I would probably go for Puck, but
Lifestealer.
It's maybe the best core matchup, like Gyro versus Lifestealer. Lifestealer is really good one against Gyrocopter, but I mean Lifestealer this early, it feels a little bit scary.
10 seconds.
What's the sub from Blue Pikachu from picking up like a Bane, a Beastmaster, or both? There it is.
Well,
exactly.
There it is. Nothing.
Exactly. So either Mortals are very confident in a Lifestealer.
I mean, it is one of MP's best heroes, right? If I'm not mistaken.
10
so
seconds remaining.
Still, like, not doing yourself any
5
favors really. I
seconds
don't think Lifestealer would have been banned out in the second phase. That's not really a go-to.
I mean, there is because since Jerry is so popular now, it's starting to become the trend that the popular counter pick is Lifestealer in some games. So it is a small chance, but I think, well, it is risky. But hey, if Immortals wants to go with it, who am I to judge? They certainly are confident with it since they pick it up like this. So it's an AA and Lifestealer. It's a super strong combination by itself, and if they can get a bomb, maybe a Batrider or even the Puck or something like this, it's super potent, of course.
Yeah. Batrider, Puck, Queen of Pain also comes to mind. Like even against heroes like Bane, can go both ways. Like there's a decent amount of control, just again with the Fiend Script or just a Nightmare, keeping her out of the fight for a little bit or setting her for other stuns. But on the flip side, if Queen of Pain just blinks on top of Bane, you can very easily blow him up too, especially if you do have the Lifestealer inside. And,
I'm gonna point out that I think this is a really good Prophet game for Blue Pikachu, because Prophet, he's really good against Ancient Apparition and Lifestealer in lane, and it's like they already have this team fight with Gyrocopter, but if they pick Prophet, they need to have a position 4 that can play around this Prophet, because otherwise Immortals can just try at him and he's not gonna get a lot done. But I think it's potentially a really good pick if they have a Prophet play. I don't know if they do, so.
Yep.
Team pick.
Let's see. For now, it's the Omni Knight making an appearance. So, more magic immunity, always useful. More safety here for Lifestealer, but he's not that carrier out the offlane that we see sometimes. Like if it's the Batrider or the Beastmaster, even for themselves. Batrider's been banned out even. So they still need that though, right? They still need the jump and also control.
Yeah, Bane is an okay tool of that, but yeah, they definitely need more. Tusk could be nice, but Then yeah, they're still kind of a little bit lacking on the control, but they did only have sacking last game, and hey, it ended in a victory. So, right, they go to Naga. Makes a lot of sense. They have the Gyro Naga combination, and just Naga net versus Lifestealer. It's amazing. So
Yep. Can kind of rage it off though, like
it goes both ways, yeah.
Yeah.
10
That's true.
seconds remaining.
Just a matter of playing around each other. But overall, yeah, it's not just the nets, right? It's also the song. If Lifestealers rage up, you can just song it up. And then you can throw the nets or not. Either way, Lifestealer is isolated from the rest of the team, so it makes it very easy for you to focus on him. And well, there's the task now. There's that control that we were talking about. Also, decent combo with the Ancient Apparition. Just being able to get some obstruction in the way to make sure that you can get that that cold feet proc. You can also make good use of that extra damage from the chilling touch early on between the two of these heroes, and even later on, like if you manage to drop some good ice shots, Lifestealer can take advantage of that and smack people about.
Yeah, and it's to some extent it's a Nake's bomb carrier, but not the best one. One of the worst ones, I would say. But yeah, and Tusk Omni, it's a really obnoxious lane with the ice shards and then just repel. I mean, purification. It can deal a fair amount of that, but I really do like the Nature Prophet here for Blue Pikachu. But I guess they don't have a player because then they probably would have picked it already.
Yep.
Because it's a hero that you really want your offlaner to be comfortable on it. Other heroes, Puck could be okay. It's kind of nice with the Naga. You can set it up fairly easy. It's gonna be a good offlane here against a Lifestealer. You can always get away from the shards. Void.
Oh. Also kind of works. Another. I kind of like that actually.
Yeah, they have, once again, just like last game, their team fight is super scary. They have Naga Sleep, the Chrono, the Gyrocopter is just super good in any team fight.
Yeah.
And Immortals, they feel, except for the A-Blast, they're very single target heavy, very single target.
Immortals basically rely on being able to run in and just brawl, just right-click people to death, with very limited ways of actually making that happen and guaranteeing that. Like you have the slow from Lifestealer, kind of slow from the Omni Knight here if he walks next to you, and the Tusk kind of rolling in, but at some point that ceases to be effective, right? Once 4 staffs come out, once everyone gets a little bit quicker with movement speed talents and whatnot, so just I don't know, it feels really bad against what Blue Pikachu has already, right? Nagasign very fast, Bane can just throw out spells, Gyrocopter, they'll all want to build 4 staffs, and then you even have to face this Void who has the Time Walk to fall back on just innately,
and the Chrono against all these melee heroes from Immortals.
Then they just turn around their Chrono or their Song, and then on setting up for a good Chrono that's perfectly placed. That's feels like Blue Pikachu has so many more tools, and so many tools that are much easier to use and get kills with than Immortals do right now.
Yeah, right now, I mean, it all comes down to the last pick, right? Immortals might pick some really, really good hero that. But for now, I'm worried for them, definitely. And Blue Pikachu is taking the time here on the last ban. They want to make sure that they haven't forgotten anything. Maybe they want to ban something like a Brood. I don't know if Immortals plays it, but that is always a... Because Gyro, he's nice against it later on, but you can really run him over in the laning stage.
Yeah.
But they banned the DP.
Okay.
Pikachu. Pikachu, they can go. I mean, they can pick any lane here. Like Void can go. They can lane this however they want. So, a very nice and open draft.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like the one way that the Immortals drafts works is if they go for something like the Brookmother, as I said, like something crazy that makes them win lanes so hard. Like with the dual lanes as well, or just the Tusk roaming around into the Ancient Apparition lane or the Omni Knight lane, grabbing kills left, right, and center. And then a mid hero who can kind of do the same, perhaps, in one way or the other. Like that's the only way I see Immortals just winning that, literally snowballing all over Blue Pikachu before they can get the levels and before they can get their farm. they're maybe thinking the same thing right now and trying to figure out a hero to kind of stop that from happening.
Yeah, and I like that they're taking their time and they want to make sure that we need to get. And they go with the pack that I mentioned earlier. That it's just it seems nice. Like they have no cash for pack.
Yeah, no hot
This
locker
is such a free
whatsoever,
pack
right?
game.
I mean,
This is such a free pack game.
yeah.
And
Could they have
even
also
if
gone for something like a
10
storm?
seconds remaining.
Storm is, but then they have Void, Gyro, Storm, and they are a really greedy tricore. Whereas Pack, the hero, like, it's not a greedy core. So I really like Pack a lot more than Storm because, yeah, just because of that sense.
You may now select
Let's
your
go with
heroes.
DK here. So that's even more single target. It's even more melee.
At least
Except
it's
for
a
when he's in
stun.
the dragon form too. Yeah, it is, and it's a counter to Pack, but I still feel that Immortals draft they really need to run Blue Pikachu down because I think Blue Pikachu they just have so much more ways of like taking fights and play this game.
This is a game where mortals want to win their lanes and then just take tower after tower whenever there's a Dragonite ultimate available, and just threaten with the life stealer, the rage being strong and whatnot.
Yeah, but the thing they got going for them is that I mean that is the playstyle that Immortals loves, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
10 seconds remaining.
It's very risky, but it's not
5
like they haven't
seconds
done it before.
remaining.
You're absolutely right. We'll see whether Blue Pikachu can weather the storm, because I still feel like that's a very narrow timing that they got themselves.
Yeah, like this is so often when you meet this void hero, you're just on a timer kinda because late game the cooldown of Chrono is so short and it's so effective, especially when they have this gyrocopter to just mash out damage in. Like you're really on a timer, I feel. So
Alright. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Pikachu up 1-0. Up against Immortals here in StarLadder NA Qualifier Semifinals. If you win this one, you're only one game away from punching a ticket to the LAN. The other side of the bracket is yet to be played, and it's DC's, Thundercats, 5 Turtles, and Optic Gaming. Right now, those games are scheduled for the 22nd. Might see some changes in that.
I'm sure there's always changes.
Everyone ready to go? Any craziness you expect with these lanes, or just fairly standard?
It seems like the Puck is gonna go mid, the Void is gonna go offlane. I mean, Void also is gonna be able to like weather the storm very nicely against his Tusker. He's not gonna ever be able to die because he has his leap. Oh, okay, he's gonna not be able to die if he plays it right, which doesn't always happen. And we'll see where the Bane will go. If he's gonna sit top and just make sure that his Gyro enjoys his lane, or if he's gonna go mid and be annoying. But it's a DK mid, so I think he's just gonna secure the gyrocopter.
Yeah. Enfeeble doesn't really do too much for the against the Dragonite. Still
That's like
for the Breathe Fire and whatnot.
It's like a dead hero lane. Like Pack against the DK, neither doesn't really kill each other, especially with this Naga Bane. Like it's not a lot of damage on their side.
30 seconds to battle.
It's gonna be a farm lane, and a lot of action focus on the side lanes here. One would think. Velo very far forward right now. They should be fine, right? They can kind of sort of run him down, perhaps, like with the rocket barrage, but.
I mean, I feel like this early game is probably gonna be pretty stale until DK Pack hits level 6. Then maybe we'll see some kill attempts, but it's like, yeah, both like this. I don't really see any side having super much kill potential. Maybe if Tusk AA rotates together somewhere. But both Void and Puck is really hard to kill.
Yep.
For these heroes.
Well, for now, Immortals setting themselves up to get the lane equilibrium in their favor as far as top lane is concerned, Fabi, with the sharp block, and going for another one right now.
Yep, that's very nice for Velo.
pretty good thing that you can do here. It's much safer than just going for the creep drag or what. And Everton also not in a position to do it himself, so he's trying to suck some experience on the side. Getting a few last hits here and there. Will be successful on this one.
Velo, he gets the first range creep and the first range creep deny. That's the dream. Gyrocopter is tilted now, I'm sure.
Rotation in from Chivas down bottom. At full position Argasar. It's not easy to really make things happen with that if you don't have the levels and snare as well as the Riptide. Right now what you can do, or what you want to do, is just walk up to another support and try and trade, but I think Ancient Apparition will really oblige.
He finds a pole though for the Void, so he's gonna be happy with that. Yeah, I think these lanes, they're not gonna be so much about kills. Maybe the Tusker and Omni can do something. But other than that, I feel it's gonna be quite stale.
Yep.
First couple of minutes.
It is right now. Both teams just trying to eke out an advantage in these side lanes. As I said, I mean, there's not a lot going on in mid anyway, not a lot of potential there. And kind of also is bad for rotations in general, I feel like, right? Because you don't want to roam towards mid, then of course the only other option is to roam to the lane on the other side of the map, which takes so much longer.
Yeah, it's gonna be all about those CS who can get the most.
Fairly even so far. All of these lanes here. Everton doing quite well up against the Lifestealer 10, 4 through 10 and 3. Up top 11 and 1 on Jaro as they sleep up the Omni Knight. Alrun taking over a little bit, is versatile, grabbing some extra jungle creeps on the side. Yeah. As you said, very even. So when are we gonna see the first serious movements?
I think when Hero starts hitting level 6, I think the first big move is gonna be this Dragonoid trying to pressure the mid tower, and either Immortals making a move with him, or Blue Pikachu making a move to prevent him from get the tower. Of course with the puck level 6 as well, so I think that's gonna be the real moment when the lanes are kind of starting to break up a little bit. Yeah, we have a very, very slow early game.
Yeah. Chivas doing his best just to prevent Immortals from establishing some sort of lane control. At the same time, they're also able to do that on the dice side of the map. They're actually blocking in Alrun. Nightmare, but the Rocket also on Omni Knight. Nice little snowball dodge in Alrun. He's still in a bit of trouble, but versatile. Going in, trying to shoot him away with that Rocket Barrage. Does have another one available in a second, but not gonna be enough here. Velo just draws the first blood, running him down with a 2.7 purification, so looks like this offlane is slightly better than the one for Blue Pikachu.
Yeah, we mentioned it as well that this Tusk Omni, they have a little bit of a kill potential. That's where it's gonna happen, if anywhere, and yeah, we see it go off.
Yeah. Nightmare just keeping in range for the Rocket. The homing missile to connect, but with new creep coming in, versatile unable to turn this into more. Even then, there was still going to be a purification available. So hard to kill this Omni Knight once he's got a couple of levels under his belt. Even holding on to a point in case he needs to repel. Or in case he finds an opportunity to run something down with an extra point into the Legion Aura.
And the Meteors are about to hit their level 6 now, and I wonder if team is gonna make a move instantly, or if it's just gonna be a couple of more minutes of farm.
Everton? Barely staying alive, the bottom MP just running it down. The time mark was on cooldown, but Stick Chargers put him over the edge and still had a stealth available. Same time Dubu is still having issues with Chivas. Top lane, okay, Snowball connecting onto Versatile with the nuke from Velo. Nice shots, and yeah, he should end up dropping. One more right click, there it is. Nightmare unable to really prevent that. Only on the one hero.
And Rio in mid
lane, alright. Stun actually connecting on the park. Sketch Keeping himself alive, only just here with the stick with the verified, drops the coil, another turnaround with the nuke! And the right click from creeps, damn!
I was like, what is he doing? He's taking way too many right clicks, like he might die, and then he fair fired and just turned it around with the coil.
Life on the edge, next level page, just letting himself be stunned. Spaceship's probably on cooldown already or something, I don't know.
That gives me flashbacks to, I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but it's TC versus TC's Dragonite versus S4 Puck in mid lane, and S4 does some like sick turnaround. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That was like a big highlight. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but
I was just gonna say TC, it's been a long time since he's been around.
yeah.
Immortals taken down a notch at the very least as far as mid lane is concerned. Again, another lane that you really expect to see these kind of things happen, even with the level 6s, but... Well, Sketch able to eke out a victory there. Now top lane. Febby's still there, and Dubu also made a track.
It's gonna be 6 heroes here on the top lane right now, and aggression is happening.
Nice Nightmare dodge here, snowball, and Nightmare take it over, Rocket will fly. Omni Knight not repelled up initially, so... Just throw it out now, just to walk away. A lot of damage being done to both sides, but versatile on the gyrocopter. He's the core that can stick around and continue farming here, Velo. As for Lion's Purification, but it's pretty strong at this point here with the Soul Ring. You can spam it out indiscriminately. Still unable to really get this Omni Knight out of this lane, and
yeah.
Bottom turns into 1v1. Evident doesn't have no time walk available here. SMP is going on him. Will be absolutely fine. Not quite level 6 yet on this Void, but he's hitting it soon. So once the Chronosphere comes online, might be one of these moments where we see the Void either calling for assistance, trying to kill this Lifestealer, or rotating into that lanes and trying to make that happen in conjunction with the Gyrocopter as well. Versatile. Just hit his own level 6.
Yeah, and I wonder if they can make something happen on this top lane with his column, but right now he doesn't even have enough mana for one, so probably not going to be the case. But this mid tower for Blue Pikachu, it is falling low, and that's basically bound to happen against a DK. It's really hard to prevent. But you want to make sure that he uses as many DK forms as possible, because as soon as he gets this tower down, he's going to go to another tier 1 and he's going to start poking away at it.
Yep. That was the second dragon form, the tower is still standing, so far so good. Meanwhile, Chivas actually gets found by Dubu as well as Fabi. On level 3, so no song available. He should end up dropping it, especially with Velo also rotating in. Alren, oh no, thought he could try and help. Doesn't get the Nightmare off this time here, throws it out now. Just trying to keep Velo away, but yeah, it's not really gonna be a thing. Just ends up dropping on top of his teammate.
I want to point out the cool play that Shives did there. When he was in the Ice Charge, he tried to, I think he went as close to the charge as possible and he tried to mirror image to the other side of it.
Yep.
I don't know if it's possible, but it looked like that was his thought process. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Could have maybe bought himself a little bit more time if that succeeded, but as it stands, lose both of these heroes, extra pressure up on top.
With our pressure once more.
Halo, she's gonna run a versatile here. Gotta be a bit careful here, especially if you don't want to use that repel. Soak up that rocket barrage up at next level now for versatile. And he has some help coming back.
Get the deny.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's
alright. Puck, Sketch, looking for that veil. Already up to level 8, so probably just gonna finish that and try and rotate then. Everton. Fine too with the time walk, but they can snowball to follow. Does have the Chronosphere to work with, but yeah, it's kinda hard. You don't want to throw it out just to try and defend yourself. So he'll give up his life instead, Royora, with another dragon form, or with the one that was used with that last mid push. Gonna get a couple of extra right clicks off before it expires, so good value. Might be able to finish off the tower with that, especially with the catapult coming in.
And right now, they are 1 tower up on Immortals. They have this mid tower. They're 5-1 in kills, and they're sitting
Top lane,
with
Ice
2K
Blast
net worth.
versatile. If he bursts it down, Ice Blast missing though, just off the mark. Versatile will be fine in the end.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We talked about it, how we felt they need to really snowball the lanes, and that's what's happening right now. And MP's going for a Battle Fury on Nyx. Alright then.
Dire's bottom
That's a new
tower
one.
is under attack.
I've seen it, I think Mushi built it some time ago, but yeah, I mean, it's not a common one. I would have expected the Radiance build,
Dire's top
if anything.
tower is under attack.
Well, smoke up will be broken immediately here, Dubo. Might pay with his life out. The rockets starting to fly out, the net as well to keep him there, but Ice Blast coming through. Maybe he can turn as well, but maybe not. The Fiend Script onto Omni Knight. They're getting a much bigger kill with that lockdown.
Tower is under
Tuba
attack.
will survive, but I don't think they'll be happy about that.
Are fortified.
Another tower deny will be secured up top if they want to throw it out now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A real bro, but yeah.
He's standing for now. Alright, so Mortals, they were just saying they are making these moves, they're getting their heroes farmed, but is this pace fast enough, is the question.
Right now, I think it's fine. They're about to get all the remaining tier 2s, tier 1s. But it's all about
Versatile?
what they're doing after that. They need to keep it up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
30 health points! TP's out under the eyes of the Omni Knight.
Calculated.
Pretty much.
And then we see the arrow. Go bot. Kill.
Pretty sure Everton at this point is itching to use the Chronos here. Needs a little bit of help here, needs some sort of extra damage output to make that work though. Febby will run to Alrun.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But yeah, I think Immortals, they need to keep doing what they need to consistently use this dragon for every time. They need to keep the pressure up, and I mean that's what Immortals does best, so they're probably gonna do that. But can Blue Pikachu hold on?
Well, so far so good. I mean, Sketch has to be careful here. Oh, he has the Shadow Blade. Just goes in for the instant initiation and should be that part with the follow-up. Yeah, perfectly chained with that snowball stun into the Walrus Punch.
This Diggy Shadow Blade is gonna be super scary for Blue Pikachu.
Yeah. If there was a Shadow Blade reveal as well, it smoked up initially, but now even is there.
They're
He is
behind
in
here.
position
This is
for the
perfect setup.
Crosshair. Ooh, that is. Start off with the Fiend Skirt, the call down, Chronosphere, everybody! They're looking to try and burst on the Dragon Knight first, and they will be able to do that. Febby gets the wall off Velo, just running away at this point with MP. Joining the party though, Alwyn will end up dropping the net, isolating him in the middle as they're just knocking down the Tusk. Alright, but now starting to run low though, as MP gets more and more right clicks in, but cannot stay on target. Bashes more and more onto Velo here. Ice Blast on 2, but the call also keeping on the Knight in. Trying to burst somebody here, and there's still a creep with the lifesteal inside. They're gonna be able to burst it down. MP, last man standing here, throws on the slow and versatile, but it's up against 4 heroes with the net. The rocket will be dodged, but Skull down to the right clicks. Versatile almost dropping as he's getting too close.
4-man Chrono.
Almost gets you nothing. Yeah, the Chronosphere finally, first one that we see in this game, and such a huge one. It was so well played from Blue Pikachu as well, because they initiate first, but no, the fight's not even over yet. Nightmare on 1, Ryola, Dragonite, up against 4 heroes once again, and you're tanky, but you're not that tanky, my friend. Should be able to be brought down at the end, despite Velo coming through.
Dire's top tower is under
And this is where these kind of strats fall apart. Just one team fight, and you lose all the momentum that you've painstakingly built for yourself.
Yeah, they were up 3k ahead. They were 3k ahead before that, and now they're barely 1k ahead, and yeah, they're not gonna fare well against this lineup if it's getting to a point where it's even in net worth, I think.
Yeah. But again, I want to touch again real quickly on how BP took that fight, because they didn't start off with the Chronosphere, right? They started off with the Fiend Script coming in from below, like this, and that forced the rest of Immortals to kind of come in and like, hey, yeah, let's help a friend. Lining themselves up for the Chronosphere was amazing.
It was really well done, and I mean, they already kind of set that up. Jaro and Bane was like perfectly positioned behind, and then just Void TP's in the shadows, and yeah,
Radiant's
Super,
bottom
super
tower
nice
is
done.
under attack.
Nicely done. And MP, he has his Battle Fury now though, and he's gonna be farming away with that.
BP smoking into the entirety of Immortals, but they find Dragon Knight first. Oh, who's finding who? They burst down one. Snowball onto the puck. Has to get himself out. Alwyn. Oh, that's a falling Chronosphere though,
No
again.
damage.
But this time, no follow-up evident. Oh, I have to say that. Versatile coming in. They still want to try and salvage this fight, but it's not really possible. Faces Void, with the lack of lockdown, he's able to get the time mark off. The shots will be off the mark. So they're only losing the two supports at the end of the day.
That looked to be a lot worse for Blue Pikachu, so... I mean, once again, yeah, amazing chrono, but Gyro, he was just 4 or 5 seconds away when he did that, so... Otherwise, it could have been a massive turnaround.
Yep. Now Immortals, they perhaps have an opportunity with a lot of these spells on cooldown. Trying to find somebody else inside the jungle, and I might find Faces Void. Ice Blast already coming in, and that should be enough to get the kill. Time Arc will not
Or
keep
is
it
it?
safe. As to say that, yeah. Got him the distance, and level 1 Ice Blast is not enough to take you out like that.
Dire's top tower.
And this
Look
is
at
the
the battle. Alright.
this is the type of kills that they really want to kind of just make their snowball go a little bit smoother and better.
Yep.
Just barely gets away. But they're getting this tier 2 tower, so
Tower is under attack.
they're making it happen for sure still.
Yep.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, when it comes to objectives, they're certainly they've got that going for themselves at the very least. BP only now starting to ping out, hey, maybe we have to catch up a little bit on that front. All tier 1s are still standing, and it's very healthy indeed
Is under attack.
for the side of the Radiant.
And that is an issue that creeps up on you when if you don't get any of these tier 1s. The map control for the other team that has these towers up is just... Oh,
There it is. Fiendskirv on the Omni-Knight, they burst him down.
It's a freebie.
TP coming in.
Radiant's bottom tower is
As
under attack.
do we really want to fight this Ryor is there. He does have
That's dead.
Passenger too, so do Pikachu realizing, hey, no, we're not gonna
Absolutely.
risk this. Oh, are we? Ryor comes through. They're trying to burst on a gyrocopter. The Nightmare is there. The net on top of the song, barely
It's gonna be a
keeping
turn.
Gyro alive. And well, maybe not. They don't have any of the spells. Chronosphere not available for another 5 seconds. Evidence somewhere else entirely anyway. It was just
I mean,
a good
that's-
disengage.
yeah, perfect for... I mean, they use sleep, sure, but... Immortal invest a lot of time in that, they get nothing for it, and they just reset. Void keeps farming during all of this. And I think if you look at Evadin's quick buy, he has an Aghanim queued up. I think he realized that, okay, as long as I Void the Chronosphere up, it's gonna be ridiculously hard for Immortals to fight us. So all I need to do is get these Aghanims, and the cooldown is gonna be so low that it's gonna be up every time.
Yep. I
And
love
this
that
game is
decision.
gonna sealed.
Dust comes out. Can't quite find the net to Royal. Turns his run for a stun onto the Bane. Versatile is there, but they only blow up this support hero.
Swing it deep.
Might be delaying this a little bit more, and yeah, it's not the rated side, but Evidence still has a Chronosphere trying to find the right one though. That's what it comes down to. Isolating Veil on the side, the Rocket Roll flies, Sketch. A little bit of trouble himself though, but he's a puck. He should be absolutely fine. Evident finally drops the Chrono, only catches the Tusk with it. With the Omni Knight throwing another spell, not quite enough to keep him safe. Now he's almost bursted down due to Rocket Barrage.
Immortals now, I
Throws some
think.
repel on himself, and well, there it is. Faces Void. Gas got the time mark off. The coil is snapped. And Omni Knight will fall. MP all of a sudden left alone by the rest of the team. Rocket flies. They want to try and finish off these easier targets first. As they just infest once again into a die side creep with the tower there.
Once again.
Deny it. They still do track down Royor. Okay, Ice Blast well timed, but the Fiendscream is there. Coming off cooldown again. Lifesteal is still in trouble. They don't quite have the power for him. They don't have the damage to actually eat through him. Outside of that rage, and Fabi with a snowball trying to turn us around. They will get another kill onto Alrin, but at what cost? Fabi!
Oh my
He
God.
came in to turn us around, but nice ice shots though. Whew.
What a
Was flying a little bit too
slugfest.
late. It's
Is under attack.
But massive for Blue Pikachu. I mean, they win that very
still one
single.
more.
Like,
Another Ice Blast. Velo is there. The Yules onto a creep. Not sure what
Oh,
that was
Dosh
about,
did-
but Versatile still dropping quite low. But with the net, with the call down, turning this around onto the Tusk,
Oh, he's dead.
who's not repelled up. Velo can keep himself alive, but not his friend. Oh, What the hell
We're
is going
stuck.
on?
Barely able to dodge that purification. He would have died from the ice blast and purification, but yeah, he just sneaks away from it, and I mean that's just massive for BP.
The fact that they can take these kind of fights when Immortals is so reliant on being able to just win these skirmishes and snowball. We've said it throughout the entire draft and throughout the entire game.
The chrono was only on Tusker, a Tusker with half HP. Like it was basically wasted, and they still come out like very much ahead.
Now they had net worth despite all the towers being down, so there's still a lot of free gold on the map. Okay.
Top.
Finally, they bring down this gyrocopter. It's this combo that they've been trying to run time and time again. Shadow Blade, Infest gank.
Yeah, it's a nice pickoff, but it is not enough. They need more right now.
Yeah. They need items to fix the issues that they've been having, because we've already seen the beginnings of what we've talked about in the draft, like the lack of control. We've seen Faces Void just time walking whenever he wants to, just to do the most damage. We've seen Puck kind of having an easy time for the most part here. Like
they need to. Whoever DK goes on with this stun, whoever he finds in the Shadow Blade, he needs to die. They've been going like Void, and Void has been able to get the time leap off, and then he's back to like at least half HP, and it just doesn't really work for them. And yeah, they need to make sure that whoever he stuns, they blow that guy up.
Yep.
Use everything. I think it's the Balefure on X. It doesn't allow him to burst as much as if he would have had a armlet and maybe half a desolator.
Yep.
And that's kind of biting them in the ass right now. Or even a Radiance.
Bunch of items on the curve actually here for the Radiance. So SNY completed, and going for the Desolator next on Lifestealer. There's a Blink Dagger for Velo. That should be useful here for the Omni Knight.
It's gonna be able to save whoever gets in a pinch. Just blink in and do your thing. Omni Knight is a nice hero against Void, especially when Void's like best pairing is Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter is mainly gonna be the flak cannon is what's gonna hit people in the chrono. So you just do your ultimate on Omni Knight, and you basically you remove all that damage.
Speaking of the Void though, I mean, he shifted from the Axe towards the Lincoln Sphere now. They're just to what's it for? Just to accommodate the stun, I guess, from the Dragon Knight?
I mean, it's the only thing they have to remove the Linkers is the coal feet from Dubu.
Yeah, coal feet, Yules, open wounds.
Yules. Yeah, they have a couple of ways, but it's like it's a really obnoxious thing for DK, because it's like, okay, now I can't really I need to combine my initiation with someone else, and it's like it's a really nice Lincolns, but I think I would have liked the Aghanims more. But
well, we'll go back to it at some point afterwards. As it stands, Immortals trying to find something here inside the dice that jungle smoked up.
With DD.
We'll find Road for sure, yeah. Blue Pikachu not quite in position to actually deal with that.
I mean, this is not going fast, and Blue Pikachu just scouted it out with a Naga Illusion, so they're not gonna respond.
Still too late. Just a little bit.
But this opens up quite a nice little window for Immortals here with this Aegis that... I mean, this Dig is gonna have 2 lives, and Nax is already hard to kill down. He's gonna have a Desolator in 1600 gold, and maybe they can really take a real nice fight off of this and maybe pressure high ground even.
Yep.
That's what I would imagine they want to do.
BP were trying to put some pressure on here, but only did minimal damage to the bottom tower. You have Faces Void in a very interesting position too right now.
I'm a living ward.
Yeah, pretty much TPing out now, as he sees a couple of people roaming in. Looking at the top lane actually is there's some farm to be had. More items are waiting on Gyrocopter. Looks for the Hurricane Pike. Yeah,
It's nice against snakes and
yeah.
all of this melee.
That's something that we talked about. There will be 4 stars this game, right?
Yeah. And that is the biggest thing against Immortals. It is this chrono that's like really good against the amount of melee heroes that they have, but also like the 4 staffs are just countering their entire lineup, like straight up.
Got it.
And Meteor Hammer completed on Naga Siren too.
Yeah.
So
Meteor Hammer level 2 song. So Blue Pikachu, like, I can't help but feel like every minute that the game goes like this, where both teams just farming, is a minute in favor of Blue Pikachu in the long run. Especially if Immortals are the ones holding onto the Aegis right now. I mean,
Yeah.
they are clearing up some of these extra towers, getting tier 1 as well as the tier 2 bottom, but is it really going to change in the grand scheme of things? Velo, okay, with the Ice Blast, again off the mark. Self-fuels.
oh, he failed. Misclick.
He's been off the mark for that. That was not the first time.
And this is the kind of things that you can't make right now. Yeah, like you need to get every kill you can. You need to pressure a lot with these Aegis, because like I think you really want to get ahead with these Aegis, and any mistake like that, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you a lot.
Also dodged out another DK gank. Not be wasting a bit of time infested as they're hopping out now, farming up their own jungle.
I feel we're back into the same situation like last game, where Blue Pikachu, they're on the defensive part and Immortals are looking for aggressive moves, and once again it feels like Blue Pikachu, they're weathering the storm very nicely. They're not giving anything up.
Yeah, they're confident that they're able to take this game later down the line. Can take it on their pace, and game number 1, I didn't really expect it, and this one, like we've talked about it at length already. This is certainly the draft for it. Immortals, they're the ones who have to make things happen. They keep trying with Lifesteal Infested and this Dragonite, but at this point, Blue Pikachu, they have a decent amount of wards out as well on the other side of the map, so, and on their own side even for that matter.
But
So
I think that right now they have Roya, he finishes BKB, and Nakes bought his Desolator, so that's 2 really big items for them. I think this is maybe even high ground time, or like really pressuring hard time, because Blue Pikachu, they have a lot of team fight, they have a lot of everything in the line, but everything except push. They don't have split push at all.
Yeah.
So Immortals can really use that fact to pressure the matter.
You want to get a pick up beforehand, though. They might find one now. Out when he pops the smoke. The Bane of all people to give up, he's the least, or one of the least, yeah, the least important one, what you could think.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what you want to see if someone is supposed to die for Blue Pikachu.
Super low net worth, so with the changes, that means that he's not really giving up all that much money. And as long as Nagarstein is still alive, you always have that reset button available.
Yeah, and the annoying thing here is that, sure, they get a kill, but the lanes were really bad. Like, they didn't do that correctly, so they can't transition it into a tower or anything. So this Aegis, I mean, it's just gonna go to waste. These newly purchased items that they really wanna pressure with, it's just falling through their hands right
back
now.
up top. Gonna have to pull some magic out of his
anymore,
behind here. It's those are zone Yules. Stopping that Ice Blast. Still has the blink. Still has the orb. Snowball.
Maybe.
Not quite connects here. He's juking, jiving, but finally out of tricks. They do bring him down in the end. Damn, that took a while.
That is a nice kill, but yeah, they did commit 4 heroes for it, and they did spend a good half a minute for it.
Alright.
And they pinged the tier 3 tower in mid, so maybe this is the go time. He doesn't have buyback, 50 seconds down.
Still Curls here, there's still a Naga song. Gyrocopter, I mean, yeah. It is kind of scary, right?
These towers will melt, yeah.
Yeah. You can't lifesteal both, like they...
Beat your hammer!
They can do damage here, not just the tower, but also the heroes for that matter here. Nightmare coming through, Dragon Knight, netted up.
So
Kinda
much
stacking
delay.
quite a few spells on him. Just trying to keep them away with the with Cordano as well. No more creeps available for Immortals to continue this push, so it's only minimal tower damage. Doing
And
all
that was
that.
actually Faceless Voice. He had a blue ogre who he, as you can see, the creeper in mid now. There's double stacked because he just kept delaying it. Really, these small things, they're like blue Pikachu. They're making the right moves.
Yeah. Doing all that versatile here. He's gonna farm up the double wave. Gonna get himself the butterfly sooner rather than later here. Almost doesn't have money for it. And that's where he starts to hit very hard too, right? I mean, there's an axe up and down on the Knight, so Guardian Angel will always be there unless he's the one being bursted down somehow.
And we did mention Chrono. Yeah, it's amazing against these melee heroes. But Puck is going for an Aghanims, and that is another tool that is super good against the amount of melee heroes on the Immortal side.
Yeah.
Not even the Rage is gonna save you from that stun.
So much hard lockdown here throughout the Magic community, but now Royar will find Chivas here. Can I find the real one though? As they, yeah, they can indeed. Bursting down, and that's a really big one. No Song of the Siren for this battle, and Blue Pikachu, they realize, yeah, not gonna take that. Get the hell out of here, but Alrun didn't find a place to TB out of, so he just gets killed too.
And Velo is going for the Aghanims, and that is, I imagine that is for the same fact I said before, that your main damage in Chrono is gonna be this Gyrocopter Flak Cannon. So even if you're on the other side of the map, you can always just guard an Angel, and your heroes in the Chrono is gonna be a lot more sustainable.
Yep.
It's a nice little pickup, I think.
It's all down to him essentially here. Being able to just weather the storm, weather these big teamfight ultimates.
Yeah, and Febby picked up this gem. I think that's a really nice one because they are having a nice little goal lead on Immortals, but they need to be able to close down the map, close down the vision that BP has, and just kind of strangle them money-wise.
Yep.
And you do that with vision control, because then Blue Pikachu is gonna feel very scared of farming anywhere because of this Shadow Blade Dragon Knight.
Yep. But they're only accommodating with some pretty interesting wards here. You don't see this one very often for the Dire's side.
Yeah.
Just gives you a little bit of vision here in case there's any sneaky attempts happening on the side. It's also
That
not
is
being
the
demoted, right?
yeah, that is the anti-gem ward. Like, it's a really obnoxious one to deward. So it's, when you meet this gem, you know that, hey, our ward's gonna get deward, so let's at least get some kind of vision up, which is these types of wards.
Fine Tabby. Gets the snowball off though as Roshan's going on at the same time. It's almost down.
Oh, is that
And
fine?
Blue Pikachu a little bit too late. He had looking for the Chrono, but he got Yules up first. Punch up. Can he continue to control him here with the Ice Blast? They do burst him down. The coil is there for Sketch. That is not quite the Ice Coil just yet, but there's the Guardian Angel on the Knight, keeping everyone alive. The Snowball will once again dodge another spell, and Alrun also locked down, isolated from the rest of his team. Versatile being run down by Velo. He is. Chivas. Chai is falling to Fabian MP. Perfectly executed by Immortals. The instant Yules on the Void as he jumps in. And then the follow-up control right on the money. They burst down the big Chronosphere. He does have buyback. Might have to use it here if they want to hold on to the high ground now.
None of the other heroes has buyback. Those, it's not even gonna be enough. But I think, yeah, they want to do something here.
Well, Puck looking through some spells. Will be fine for now. Can pick up the axe right now, and he does. No buyback. No buyback gold now as a result. Only gave up that bottom lane of Rax. Top lane. Also taking quite a bit of damage here, especially once MP starts to hit it. No more glyph. MP, that's kind of committing for it. No Fiend Script, so he can be reasonably safe. Space is void, only coming in now. Raging away, and they make the clean retreat. Immortals with a big place around that Roche pit.
All of a sudden, they're up 15k or 14k. So, massive for Immortals there. Yeah, just that dual scepter into Dragon Knight stun really sealed the deal. No Chronosphere for you.
Yep. The P now with the AC, so even more minus armor to work with. If he actually gets a right click, him and Dragon Knight both actually at this point. If they get a right click, they can do a really good amount of damage.
And Dragon Knight is gonna go for he has the Orchid and he's gonna go for the Nullifier, so he's gonna have multiple ways of removing these Linkens on Void and then following up with the Dragon Tail, so this Linken is not gonna save him anymore.
Yeah.
He needs to rely on just superior positioning, and he has Blink Dagger for that.
Yeah. But they're now going back towards the BKB, like... As strong as Immortals are and seem right now, this game can turn around on a single good Chronosphere again. Immortals are very much aware of that though. They're smoked up again, trying to establish the same kind of game they really want to look for time and time again. This very quick pace, keeping your enemy off balance essentially. And
looks like they're just gonna go top.
Yeah.
And I mean, Blue Pikachu is far away from their home.
Still TP back one by one. They can just easily clean through these buildings now. No backdoor region. MP drops out. And there's a glyph. There's also Fiend Script here, but that is still a lifestealer carrying the Aegis, so you don't really want to commit too many spells on them right now. But the alternative is, well, give up the racks, so they throw out the Fiend Script, a couple of right clicks, and he still gets the kill, and okay, Aaron just ends up being bursted down. The Song of the Siren really setting up for too much here, apart from the Chronosphere, but the Velo once again with the Guardian Angel did not doing any damage. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight back unkillable as well. Blue Pikachu, they are the ones who are dropping health point after health point. And it's just going from bad to worse. No more buybacks, no more base. Alrun, not a whole lot he can do in this situation, so they have to call it GG, well played. This time it is Immortals with a big turnaround, even though we're not really supposed to make that happen. The one play, the one team fight around the Roche pit was all it took for them to establish control.
Yeah, and they were just able to play so well around this Void. Like, he got this big 4-man chrono, which really made the early game for Blue Pikachu, but ever since then, they didn't really they didn't even get like any like good 1 or 2-man Chronosphere.
Yep.
And every time just Velo there with the Guardian Angel, if he got anything done, and yeah, stellar performance from Immortals.
Yep. Well, it's out the series 1-1. Keep their hopes alive of making it further in this qualifier. They have to repeat that performance in game number 3. The Blue Pikachu does have another chance to pull it out and fix their mistakes, fix the issues perhaps, and build some more confidence. Maybe that was the issue. It's kind of hard though. Immortals, I mean, they still have a lot of experience between them, so they can play these kind of games where it's just it's been a lot about positioning, right, for both of these games, and it's been a lot about catching the other team off guard, and
yeah.
Immortals has been pretty good about that.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see what Game 3 has to offer. We'll take a short break, but we'll be back in time, so don't go too far away.